No timers, what's up? How's it going? Nice to see y'all. Just want to do a quick little update video to talk about stuff that's been going on in my life and stuff that I've been thinking about and reasons I haven't posted on here and such and such. If you got chores to do, clothes piled at the end of the bed or dishes stacked up at the nightstand, etc., just leave this playing while you do them. If you want, that's an option. If you want to stay in bed, that's also an option too. I'm not your mother. Since I started lifting weights and working out and doing exercise and trying to eat healthier, I've actually gained about 6 pounds. I started at like 187 pounds and now I'm like 192 pounds, which is interesting because I've also visibly lost fat. Like I visibly feel slimmer. I'm getting the start of some abs, kind of. And I lost enough fat in my kind of face and jawline area to where I felt comfortable enough to buzz my hair, to shave it, which I've wanted to do for a long time. But I was just really anxious about what my head would be shaped like because I'd gained weight. And it turns out I actually think it looks really good. I'm excited about it because I was nervous. It was kind of a leap of faith. I even tried photoshopping and using FaceApp to see what it would look like if I got a buzz cut. I think I might need to go even shorter next time because, well, I don't know. I just want to see what it looks like. If you notice in that video I made 3-ish months ago, maybe 4, you can even see in the thumbnail that not only did I want to get back in shape, but I also wanted to go back to short hair. And here we are. We made it. For lifting related stuff, the month of September was like a strength month. I was testing out basically doing mostly compound lifts, doing heavier weight and lower reps. So like 5x5 was the sets and reps for most things. And I got really strong. I think my max bench bumped up to like 260 or 265, which is pretty cool. The only tangible difference for the actual workouts is less of a focus on the negative. So like when I'm benching heavy, instead of going down real slow and stretching the muscle, I just kind of bench it and then go down controlled and bench it. And, it allows you to do a lot more weight because you fatigue your muscles quite a bit more when you're doing the bodybuilding type hypertrophy where you stretch the muscle out at the bottom and then, go up. And I think the optimal sort of negative range for that is like a second or more when you're lowering the weight. Or in the example of like a pull down, when you're letting the weight go down the negative, the contraction, and then the negative, slower for hypertrophy month. For strength month, you're just trying to fucking move weight. And it was cool. But I noticed towards the end of the month that my body was kind of like, you're going a little too hard, man. You're going nutso. And my joints after a set of heavy bench I would have to lower the bar down and then kind of release it slowly because my wrists and my shoulders and just my bones basically were it felt very strenuous. So I'll probably alternate strength and hypertrophy. Maybe I'll just do 2 weeks of strength and then go back to a month of hypertrophy or something. But so far this month, because I spent a month doing strength, I'm doing hypertrophy and not even that much higher reps, just like 6 to 10 ish, but really focusing on stretching the muscle and burning it and stuff. And it feels a lot better. I don't know. So I got a lot of strength, but it did strain me a little bit. So we'll just probably tone that down a bit. As far as muscle group focus, I've been splitting up my push days into chest days and then shoulder days and then pull days. And honestly, because of my knee, I still am not really squatting, but because I'm playing tennis and stuff, my legs are getting a workout, but I still need to do something for my legs probably. I don't want my legs to be big. I don't want big, bulky, juicy thighs or anything, but maybe I do. Maybe I do, and maybe I do need to work my glutes as well and stuff. But again, knee injury makes it sort of difficult, but I'm sure if I keep doing this physical therapy that I've been doing that's been helping, which is where I just flex my knee 20 times, and then I do that a bunch of times during the day, and apparently what it's doing is crunching out the little piece of meniscus that I have floating around in there, and it'll eventually dissolve and reabsorb into my body, which is fun. And yeah, it's been feeling better, but I still haven't gotten back to squat form, and I've been doing that for about a month, but it's working in some regard. And so we'll get a big juicy butt very soon. For me, I feel like the muscle group that's most underdeveloped is my biceps. If we go ahead and compare my biceps to my triceps here, even though the tricep is just a bigger muscle, proportionally, my biceps they're little baby boys. They're also short. If you can see when I flex them, they just right here. And I've told people that in real life before, and they're like, "Shut the fuck up, you have big biceps." But I'm like, well, proportionally, they're not that big. And when I'm standing, to me, they just look like arms, unless I'm pumped up. Which is one of those things where it's like the customizable build. How do you want to look? Do I need big, juicy bicep arms? No. But aesthetically, I feel like if there is a significant gap between the size of my biceps and the size of my tricep. It'll probably look better if I just train them more. All it is just wanting to train them more so it's proportional. But I'm not trying to get huge. Like the photo that is probably in the thumbnail is pretty much the way I want to look. I just want to slim down a little more and then maintain the physique. Just make it so that I can like kind of easily maintain a slim but fit aesthetic. But in the meantime, while I'm like training up to that point, I just want to like kind of shape the build a little bit more, and focusing on arms is a part of that. In my opinion, it's like what I'm gonna plan on doing. But same with shoulders, because like I have big traps, and the reason I have big traps is because I don't know how to actually properly work my shoulders, or I haven't known how to do that for a long time until recently, when I discovered that my shoulders are just incredibly weak because I've never properly worked them doing lateral raises and stuff. And now that I've started doing that, I use like very tiny baby weight, but I also have to struggle to make sure I'm not using my traps when I'm doing lateral raises. And that's still, I'm so used to it that I have to like remind myself. But that also means my shoulders have room to grow because I haven't been hitting them, and I don't really need to work my traps at all. Like I don't do shrugs or anything like that because you work my traps with everything else, and maybe that's fine. I found a new hobby and a new love. It's called tennis. Little game called tennis, little fuzzy green ball. And I'm stoked about that because, I mean, for a lot of reasons. For one, it's actually really fun in terms of any forms of cardio. If you want to actually keep things going and be consistent with it, adherence is the biggest thing. So just being able to make sure you do it consistently. And because tennis is fun, because I have friends that like to play, because I've been able to recruit my family into playing as well, it's been just awesome. I was playing like every day for a little bit. Then I kind of sprained my ankle, which I can show footage of here. So I've taken a little bit of a break, hiatus on that. Wasn't too bad of a sprain. I shouldn't be gone for, more than like, 10 days or so. But some days I'll play for like 2.5 hours and burn, 1,500 calories. And that just makes it so that I have no reservations about what I want to eat that day. Because previously I've been kind of counting calories, and pretty low calories at that. Like I think for a while I was shooting for 1,800 to 2,000, and getting in the habit of counting them like consistently, like I think I did it for 2 months straight, was really helpful because it kind of gets you into the practice of thinking about what you're eating and thinking about how much you're intaking during the day, and then like being aware that, if I wasn't counting calories, I would just do this late night snack and not even really remember it the next day, versus I tracked the late night snack and saw like, if I, went up in weight, or if I felt differently somehow for that day, it was because I ate a big, like, sneaky treat at night, and it was written down right in the log. But then like probably a month ago, I stopped tracking just because I forget why, like, I don't know. I got in the habit of it enough to where I like was visualizing in my mind how much I was eating and being okay, this, that, the other. And also just seeing that, especially during a strength month where I'm like moving heavy weight and my recovery is like you need more energy to be able to move weight like that. That's where the like cut calorie level was, I think, a little bit low. I was never really on a cut. I was just trying to see like what it would feel like if I did a cut range amount of calories to see what happened with my body. And yeah, I just kind of lost some fat and gained some muscle and hit the protein goals, and that's what it is. One thing I've learned is that through the pursuit of this hobby and activity that I'm kind of hyperfixated on, which is tennis, is that it is a genuinely social activity, which is quite nice in terms of like weightlifting. I've thought of it in the past as like, oh, you can go lift with your friends. But I've never actually really done that. I've done it a couple of times, but it's never been a consistent thing where you get a group of people together and go lift. Like that hasn't been my thing, unless it was during sports where everyone was lifting with the team. I think games like tennis or, I don't know, soccer, whatever, there's probably more accessible versions of these things. Pickleball, honestly, I think is as much as I hate those picklers sometimes when they take up the full court, it is the most community-oriented, accessible, and honestly fun activity you can do with a group of like 4 people. I like pickleball more than I like doubles tennis, which is where you have 4 people using a full court. Singles tennis to me is just the best, bar none, just because of like the athleticism and the amount of like actual exertion you have to do and the skill required and the feeling of the ball and, all sorts of stuff like that. And I'm still pretty bad, but like, playing it a bunch and like being obsessive and watching video after video and watching old like Wimbledon footage and full matches and things. I've gotten definitely better. I still hit the net just for no reason all the fucking time. And that's why I lose most of the games. If I lose a game, it's usually from shit like that. But there's also been times where I've hit some nasty shots and I know it's not like a random fluke. It's something that I've practiced. And like when you whip like a topspin ball to the back corner and it lands and you get a point off of that, it just feels amazing. You know, I don't know. It's a nice feeling. What was I talking about? Yeah, just that I think, you know, you go play tennis with someone and then you go get food after or something like that. Like, played with my family a few times now, or I meet up with my sister and play with her and just like kick it, you know, and have a good time and have like a common focused activity. It just feels good to be social, and I hope if being social is something you want to pursue, avenues like sports and games, if you consider them, you might end up liking them, and I think that would be awesome. But also, I know some people just aren't competitive. I think that's part of what keeps me going, is because I like go and I always like to keep score, even if I'm kind of fucking around with my family, because I'm like, I am here to try and like win, as cringe as that is. I'm not like going crazy hard. You know, I'm not like hitting nasty topspin serves against my mom, who hasn't played tennis in 10 years. I'm trying to make it so that we can rally and have a good time. But I also do need to keep score, because if we're just playing for the sake of playing, I will lose interest, which is weird. It's probably a little weird, but it's just, you know, that's just kind of built into me as like a competitive sort of thing. They don't seem to mind it. They're just having a good time, so it's all good. But then I have friends who are also very competitive, so that adds to it when I play with them. I am still living at home. However, I've new life plans, which is that I'm going to move to, I think, California, Southern California, probably San Diego at the end of the year, maybe after the holidays. Super excited for. I'm going to move in with some of my former roommates who are all actually here right now, which is awesome. It's sunny there. There's a beach there. There's a tennis courts there. And I'm 26 right now. I turned 27 in November. I want the last few years of my 20s to be filled with like activities and just being outdoors and being social. And having people down there in Southern California will make it so that that's kind of just like a possibility. And I don't know, it's just exciting. Like the plan I had for this year to travel and then return home and spend time with people has so far, for the most part, been a success. Like I've kind of accomplished what I wanted to do, and the parts of me that I wanted to like explore and potentially change, I feel like I have changed in some regard. And being in a really bad place in terms of like anxiety and stress and like work, hating my kind of work for the last like few years before the start of this year. And same with like, I was in a relationship that definitely like should not have gone on as long as it did. All of those things I feel like are right now behind me in a way that is just happy, you know? I'm in a better place right now. And I wanted you to know that, because maybe you are too, or maybe you aren't. And then if you aren't, then you might not feel like it, but there's always things that'll happen in life that could end up making it better. It's hard to see out of that when you're in that negative situation though, especially if you've been in it for a long time. But I'd be interested to hear in the type of stuff that you'd want to see from the channel. Chores videos, obviously, I think are the bread and butter because they're fun. I need to clean my room really badly, so maybe I'll do that. But I have been doing a lot more sit down, press record type videos on my main channel, and that's been fun. Just kind of like churning stuff out, going through the motions, going through the practice of it, which I quite like. But I'll have to return to activities soon. I have so many things that I've filmed for this channel, like I cleaned out the barn, or I did some power washing, or what else? Just like cleaning up randomly, setting up my desk, random stuff like that. ADHD is weird, man, because I spend so much time doing random shit, and then I just forget that I did it, and then I don't use it, and then not only do I not like get to release it into the world for people that might actually enjoy it, I also just don't make any money off of it, you know? And then it's like, okay, well, thankfully I don't have like kids or something. But if I did, I'd be fucked. I would be absolutely fucked. Or they would be, you know? They'd be hungry because I'd be still needing to hit my protein goals, and that would be their loss. So anyways, just a quick little update. Let me know what you'd like to see from me. Noah Timers, hope you're enjoying your time, and I'll see you later. Bye.